It's the hot seat with Naya on Fire. And today in Cape Town, South Africa, I have a special guest with me. You've probably seen her a lot during the Dubai tournament and a lot of the past tournaments. She started about a year ago, a little over that, I think. And she's been killing it so far. Her journey has been amazing to watch, and I can't wait to see what she does in the future. So today with us, we have the speedster, the hard runner, KRISTI KIRSHE. All right, Kirshy. So, first we'll start with just a little intro about you so that people can learn some things. So if you had to give 5 things for people to know about you, what would that be?
I'm from outside Boston. I think that's a big thing about me.
Wicked.
I'm a huge New England Patriots fan, and I love football. Let's see.
I have a good one for that later.
I played soccer through college before I found rugby. I love bagel breakfast sandwiches, and breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. And I only eat peanut butter and banana sandwiches on game day.
Never any other time.
No, never any other food on game day.
That's 5 things to know about Kirsch. If you have any other questions, DM her on Instagram. She loves getting secret messages. Okay, so now we're gonna go into our base questions. So I'll ask you 3 questions. With these questions, you can take your time if you need to think about them a little more. They're a little more into detail. So the first question is, we already got a little insight from the 5 things to know about you, but how did you find rugby, and then what made you stay?
My best friend from high school, actually, so she played rugby at BU when she was in college, and I had graduated, I was living in Boston, and I had missed playing a competitive sport, and she was like, why don't you come try rugby? And I was pretty hard to convince, actually. I was like, I don't know, like, I'm a soccer player, I played soccer my whole life, but then, I finally went to my first practice, and I sucked, but I had a lot of fun, and I met a lot of really cool people, and just, I fell in love with the sport as soon as I played my first game. So it was what kept me around was a lot of the sport itself, and also just like the people and the culture. I think it's the most amazing
environment.
Yeah, it really is. It's just, it's unlike anything else.
Did you do good your first game?
I did okay my first game. My first practice was pretty rough.
Yeah.
The hardest thing for me was so like in soccer, I played forward, so I was always in front of the ball. So having to stay behind the ball and only being able to throw the ball backwards really messed with me.
And was it 15s or 7s?
I started with 15s.
Okay.
But yeah, so they threw me on the wing for my first game, and
typical.
It went okay. Yeah, it went okay.
Okay, good. Next question. So, on your journey with being on this team, what is probably right now one of the biggest lessons you have learned so far?
Oh God. Like rugby lessons, or like life lessons, or
just from the rugby world and playing in that type of environment. It could be a life lesson that you learned, or maybe something you learned with involvement in rugby. For example, for me, it's like learning that balance between putting myself first and then putting my team first. That was a big lesson for me.
I think one of the biggest things is just that, like, you can't do anything without your teammates. I think rugby's really special in that way that, like, every time you carry the ball, you have to trust that your teammates have your back.
Yeah.
And you really just can't do anything without your teammates, and trusting your teammates, and just being like fully committed to putting your body on the line for each other.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, just
trust. Yeah. Okay, last base question. So I thought about this one for a little bit. We talk about a lot of our successes and how things go well for us, but one of the things I wanted you to chat with the people about is if you ever deal with fear or doubt when you're going up against some of those hard finishers or those steppers or those speedsters who are at the top of their level right now. Do you ever deal with any fear or doubt? And if so, how do you work around that to make sure that you're still able to perform how you've been performing?
Definitely. A lot of fear, a lot of doubt, especially, I'm still pretty new to the sport. I mean, now I've been playing for like 2 years, but it's still kind of my first year on the series, so there's definitely times where I'm like lined up against people and I'm like, holy crap, I'm lined up against X, Y, and Z. But I think a lot of it is just really trying to focus on like the basics and like what we work day in and day out on just like very small details. And so like when I get really overwhelmed or when I get really nervous or really afraid, is I just try to focus on like the little details, because they kind of keep me present more so than trying to think about like what could possibly go wrong in the bigger things. And also just going back to just trusting that like if I do mess up, like somebody's going to be there to help me cover it. Especially with some of those people on the wing, I'm like, I'm probably going to have to sell out or commit to this, so hopefully if it doesn't go my way, somebody's going to have my back. So.
Yeah. I was thinking, I can't remember what I was just about to say. Don't think what you can do wrong, think what you can do right. Okay, now we're going into the speedster round. So in this round, you probably know, because you seem like you've watched some of my videos, probably just to see how it would go for you.
Yeah, I had to do my due diligence to prepare.
Okay, so for the speedster round, I'm gonna ask you 5 questions. You answer them as fast as you can. The first answer that comes to your head. Julio?
Yeah, this is what I was most nervous about.
First one, what's your zodiac sign?
Libra.
Okay. Second one, what's your favorite type of chips?
Kettle cooked potato.
No flavor, original?
Yeah, Cape Cod.
Ooh, yeah. I like I can't remember, something mama. Okay. How many siblings do you have?
I have 2 siblings and 2 half siblings.
Okay.
And step siblings.
Okay, and
Oops.
no worries. Say it again. So then
I have 2 older siblings and 2 step siblings.
Okay. And then this is a would you rather. Would you rather the Patriots never, ever, ever win a game again, or the girls only have 1 stop for their season?
Oh God.
Patriots, you losing.
Yeah.
Patriots, you losing.
Yeah.
Cool. Remember you said that.
I know, that's a tough one for me. That one really pulls at the heartstrings,
Last one. First coming to the team, who was probably the scariest teammate?
Doyle.
Why? Everybody says that.
I just think she is hard to get a read on at first, and she comes off as like kind of intimidating. Also, she's one of the best players in the world, so just trying to like, I don't want to mess up around her.
It's crazy to be scared of her too, because she's not that big. She's not bulky or anything like that. She's just, her face is just
very serious
all the time. But recently she's just been bubbly.
Yeah. With
our team, she's really opened up compared to how she was with some of the other teams that I was able to observe her in. But yeah. All right, that's a wrap. Kirsh, thank you so much for coming on the show. Y'all keep a watch out for her. She just made the dream team in Dubai. Was that your first dream team?
No.
Where was your other ones?
Also Glendale and Langford last year.
So she's been doing amazing. She's probably, her and Lo are a good example of being able to come on a team and be so athletically talented and so open to learning that your progress skyrockets, and that you can go from just playing rugby to a year later being on your journey to the Olympics. So hopefully she gives you hope to try a new sport or even try rugby, even though it's so close to the Olympics. Even if you don't make this one, you can make another one. And even if it isn't rugby, it could be another sport. So keep the hope alive. Also, Kirsh, where can they follow you on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter?
I have all 3. So Instagram at KL Kirsh. Facebook is just KRISTI KIRSHE. And Twitter is at Kirshy Bar.
Yeah, and I'll write all that under here for you. It'll be right here. This is my beautiful Photoshop. Okay, thank you, Kirsh.
Thank you, Naya.
That's a wrap!